We're at CRISPRCon conference 2018 in Boston. There are representatives here from agriscience, the pork, corn, and soybean industries. Can you tell us why farming and ranching organizations are represented here? What's the future for them in gene editing?
Well, this is very exciting for plant and animal agriculture because it is closer to the accepted practices of mutation and selection, which is like the classic way we've done artificial Darwinian selection since the beginning of time, since before written history. Is we expose the seeds to radiation from the sun, you get thousands of wacky mutations, and then you select the ones you like. The genome editing methods allow us to do that in a more thoughtful way. So instead of making 1,000 mutations, 999 of which could be bad for you, we pick the one that's good for you. But it's essentially the same thing. You're changing like one base, an A to a G, C, or T, and that is not bringing in a whole new gene from another organism, which can be safe as well, but it strikes the regulators and the public as less safe than making a mutation, and making one mutation should be considered safer than making 1,000.
And from what I've heard here, perhaps the organic food supporters will accept gene editing over GMOs.
Organic foods exclude GMOs, which are effectively defined as transgenics, meaning moving a gene in from another organism. If you just change one base pair, you're essentially doing something that happens naturally. In fact, you're doing something that's a little more, even more careful than natural. And it's called cisgenic, and it allows you to, can't do quite the same things you can do with a transgenic, but it's much more natural. So I think it will be embraced by the anti-GMO, the organic movement, and so forth. Mm-hmm. It's indistinguishable from natural mutations as the other component. While transgenic, you can see there's this big chunk of DNA that's foreign. It's easy to detect. Well, if you change a G to an A, it looks like any other way you would change a G to an A naturally.
Where do you think we're going to end up with foods, in livestock and agriculture, as a result of gene editing?
Right. Well, I mean, one of the possibilities with gene editing applied to livestock and crops is that we might be able to not just reduce costs, which is what the emphasis has been on GMOs in the past, but improve quality, nutritional value. I mean, we have maybe reduced some of our obesity epidemic, problems with vitamin deficiencies in developing nations. Finally, those can be done in a way that's acceptable to the organic foods industry, and we might even enable. Right now, organic foods is a bit more intensive, cost intensive, and land intensive, water intensive. Maybe we could make that get that to be more acceptable. And in terms of animals, we might be able to have more humane treatment of animals by being able to engineer them into something, into place where they would be both compatible with our food supply and with humane treatment.